Okay, just going to recap the rest of my trades for the week. I'm going to probably start doing weekly recaps and only recording live sessions maybe once or twice a week, as opposed to recording pretty well every trade I take, because I do find that it fucks with my execution a little bit, my focus. I feel like, obviously it's on me, but I feel inclined to kind of like narrate the situation when I'm recording. And it just kind of takes away from my actual focus, from my actual thoughts. Anyway, um, took a couple of L's this week. One I'm happy with. I think I already posted that one. One, it's a trade that I probably shouldn't take. It's labeled as INV because I'm looking to invert this entry model. I've just lost the same trade so many times. It misinterpreted the market structure, but yeah, we'll go over the loss first. I know a lot of people took this and won. I took it slightly too early and lost, but either way, I'm not a fan of this entry. I think it's depending on your strategy, it's not a bad trade for everyone, right? Candle behavior wise, obviously looks very sensible. It was about 50% of this move up, so it kind of makes sense you get a reaction there. But the way that I personally take entries, I'm always trying to stack structural logic to increase the probability of a reaction playing out and potentially continuing. And this entry just completely lacked structural logic, which is why I don't like it. Can go over why really quickly. Obviously, high middle time frame / middle time frame bullish, but we're overextended with this fragile low time frame structure here. So the second this breaks, I'd be looking for a misalignment into the next external, which would be down here. And yeah, this kind of breaks up here. We also retest that move at the start of the hour. That's the short that I should be trying to catch. And then, yeah, at that point, like the move is over until we get down here. But this push down is stronger than the respective push up, and it's aligned with our bearish external move. So yeah, it's just, this is a super particular situation that happens quite often, and this is like consistently not a very good entry from what I've seen. So yeah, looking to get rid of it. This is just gonna kind of be me talking to myself, honestly, reviewing the week. Yeah, it's annoying. I definitely have a bit of a buy bias. I recognize I don't quite see things the same on the sell side. Like if we were to invert the scale here, and if I was coming into the session and saw this, this would be a super trivial buy for me. I would have absolutely no trouble executing on this, given the overall structure, right? We have this large shift to the upside, pulling down deep within it, assuming a bit of a range and obviously disproportionate reaction off the bottom with a massive imbalance to fill. I'd have no trouble executing on that, but for some reason on the sell side, I just see things a little bit differently. I don't know. I guess I'll have to work on that. But yeah, took a decent little buy here in New York session. Maybe I already posted this, I don't know. Kind of the low time frame continuation entry model I talked about a couple of weeks ago, where we have this high middle time frame range. We're also at the bottom of this little like inconspicuous bullish shift, right? It doesn't really look like a shift, it just looks like part of this overall high time frame trending bearish range, but it is technically speaking a shift because we create a new low here and then we pull up, obviously break these highs, and we're very deep within that. Low time frame volume was looking really nice. Entered off of a tick volume shift off this low time frame low. Pretty easy trade, and of course just using the generalization that we're going to kind of rangely retrace any large impulse that occurred earlier in New York. And oh yeah, this one, This one was super trivial. I know a lot of people took this in the mentorship. Middle time frame range bound overextended to the downside out of that range into a natural area of adherence with external structure being this high middle time frame uptrend. Yeah, we were initially quite high within the bearish trending range, and you could expect an overall continuation of the downside, but it was kind of arguable whether we'd touch the top of it or not. Like, how do you define touching the top? So it was kind of a could have went either way, and we of course had room to move, which is the most important part. Room to move within this bearish structure. Then of course aligned with the bullish external. Volume was super low in here. Maybe I entered a little bit early, but yeah, entered off of a, oh yeah, this is a 4-hour level too, by the way, and this trade was off of a daily level. Yeah, entered off of a 5-minute candle opening, immediately driving bearish, and then seeing a strong reaction to like these low time frame lows, which of course is also a 4-hour level. So yeah, I entered. I could have probably been more patient given how low volume we are. Like, if you look at the right here, we're on a $1 scale right now, which relative to what the volume has been doing lately, it's super low volume. And yeah, when it's lower volume, you can wait for pullbacks. You can just be a lot more patient than you can in higher volume scenarios. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. We were on a decent run for a little while there. I mean, still are. That shit's inevitable, but yeah, the reason the values here, like the numerical values, all look so rounded, is just because I kind of just roughly estimate the RR when I throw it in here. I really try to not look at numbers whatsoever when I'm trading. I don't look at P&L. I don't look at my balance, anything like that. I don't look at the precise risk reward. I don't do the precise calculations, because the slight edge that I might gain from dissecting that data will very, very likely be outweighed by the executional hampering that knowing all those specific numbers and focusing on the outcome inevitably is going to brew. So I don't think it's worth it, at least for me, just knowing how I am. But yeah, I find it really useful to just not focus on numbers whatsoever.